Well, if it isn't the only, one and only Uncle Junior.
What's good, brother? What's good? What's
What's
good?
up, bro? Glad
Man,
you
not
came
much,
over, man.
man. And if you was about to roll out, I don't want to hold you up, man,
No,
but
no, no. I was gonna hang on for probably like another 30 minutes anyway. So
that'll
this,
work.
yeah. So like, I just wanted to catch you, some of your thoughts on here. I was, just read my reheated French fries. I'm probably gonna make a slideshow out of it later on, and you know, just running it down. I don't know if you caught that part, but I guess like the conversation, what I'm saying, should a man compromise who he is for anyone or anything? Um, the question that I kind of proposed was like how does a man avoid all of it? Because these are things that are unnecessary and negative thought, but just general walk around, Uncle Junior.
Like, how do
That's
you
something
avoid
that,
compromising?
yeah, because like general walk around Uncle Junior, based on what he does every day, is not going to put himself in a situation where he's going to compromise who he is to the people that he's responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a do what you're supposed to do type of attitude, and it don't even require a whole lot. But it's amazing how easily people can get off task. So, like, what do you do to keep your focus? Like, what are some personal things that are code to you?
I think it starts with your values, and I think it starts with your purpose. If you have certain values, those values are what dictate what moves you make in life, what decisions, what choices you make. Your purpose also aligns with what you do with your time. So you combine your values along with your purpose and you mix those things together, you have a recipe for success. You know what I'm saying? So what happens when you're focused on doing the right thing, you're focused on your purpose, then you're not going to get off track as much. You know what I mean? So it's easy to not let distractions and things that compromise your purpose come into your life. Because if I know that I'm heading down the road and something comes over to distract me, because initially that's what compromises. I think in a lot of cases they start with a distraction. Then that distraction, you may dwell on it at some point or something. Next thing you know, you may find yourself compromising, being in a compromising situation. But when those things come along that compromise the situation, you have to ask yourself, does this, whatever it may be, line up with my values? Does it line up with my purpose? And if it don't, then you don't allow yourself to be compromised by it. You avoid it. You stay out, keep it out of your way. And this can be anything. This could be people. This could be relationships with coworkers. It could be a lot of different things that could be something that comes into your life that could potentially compromise which direction that you're headed. So for me, it's just staying focused on, knowing who I am as a man, knowing what my values are, acting as such, and then staying on my purpose and only keeping what aligns with my purpose in my in my in my window.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I like the fact that you highlighted. Sometimes the situation can be compromised, not the people. Like there's been plenty of situations that just been compromised because of elements that's outside of your control.
Yeah.
Like, like how many times
deployment.
Yeah, come on, man, deployments. How many times?
Deployments.
How many times you hurry up and wait? Anytime you hear hurry up and wait, that's compromise.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like you hurry up, you think you're going somewhere, and then you sit down. And how many times
you put the situation?
Yeah,
like you said, the situations, right? The deployments, right? You get with somebody, y'all good, y'all lovey-dovey, a woman, and y'all together for a year, y'all together for 2 years, and all of a sudden, boom, you about to deploy for 15 months. And yes, y'all got together, and y'all thought that it was going to be okay, but neither one of you guys have been in that situation before, so you don't know what it's like, you know, being lonely for that amount of time after you have spent 2 years with someone. And those things, if you don't have values and different things like that, that situation can compromise your relationship, because like I said, you may not have ever been in that situation before. And yes, you got with somebody and they knew you was in the military, but you don't know how being apart from somebody is going to affect you and affect your relationship.
Yeah, that is a psychological unknown.
Exactly.
It's a huge psychological
Yeah.
unknown because
And how do you prepare for that?
yeah, because just because you are conditioned to be okay,
Yeah.
doesn't mean like other people are
And
conditioned
you
to,
might not be okay. It's
and you
just
might
that
not be
it's part of
okay.
your job.
Yeah,
It's part of
you
the way
might.
you feed the person that you lay in the bed with every night. That's how
Yeah,
they have a roof over their head,
bro.
and like I said, we may not agree with it, but I think in the military we compromised a lot, not necessarily ourselves, but I think we did some, but we compromised a lot in general just by being in the military. And some of those things are relationships.
Bro, compromise a lot.
Who will?
Well, hey, somebody got to get sacrificed.
Hey, yeah, and maybe it was meant for them to be sacrificed.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, man? Everybody useful.
Yeah. Until they not.
Until they not.
Everybody useful until they not.
It's so unfortunately real. Like it's, and that's the point too. Is like at least be useful while you're here. That way, if somebody sacrifice, you want to achieve sacrifice.
Yep.
Because somebody's got to give something up. Like it has to be an exchange in relative currency. Compromise is inevitable. Like you do it every time you go to the grocery store. Like I don't know how many times. Look, you want Fiji water.
Yep.
But you're gonna drink this Ozarka. You know what I'm saying?
Or you're gonna sacrifice and just pay the extra money for that bacon.
Oh, yeah, something.
You can compromise. You're like, you know what? I really don't want to pay $10 for this bacon, but you know what? Maybe I won't get something else. Maybe I won't get that Kit Kat.
Yeah, man. Look, you make unhealthy compromises all the time. You know what I'm saying? You ever been to a restaurant that sells both French fries and tater tots? Both of them is unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? But there's a compromise, and then if you got the resources, you don't have to compromise. You can eat both of them.
Yeah.
But what's the outcome if you live on that stuff? Yeah, so we make choices and sacrifices, and I think a lot of times we throw the word sacrifice around too loosely. I think that it doesn't fit every single box.
Yeah.
It just can't, because I think when there's a sacrifice, it has to be comfort and safety. If you ain't compromising, if safety and comfort are not compromised, it's not a sacrifice.
Yeah, and sacrifice is something. I mean, if it can be easily given up, it's probably not a sacrifice.
It's probably not a sacrifice.
You know what I mean? Like if I got $1 million and you ask me for $2, it ain't really a sacrifice.
Right.
If I got $5 and you ask me for $2, that's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like that. That's a good way of looking at it right there.
Yeah.
Because you want 40% of my money.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the percentages.
Yeah, 40% of my money is different when I got $100 million than when I got $50 or $100. I got $100. You talking about taking $40, bro? That hit a whole lot harder.
Yeah,
and I mean, I'm speaking as somebody who don't have $100 million too.
Yeah,
so I think that if I had $100 million, that I wouldn't want 40 million of mine going away either.
Money is about equity, man. Like if it's used to solve problems, there's somebody that's got a $500 problem that's nobody's issue. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere else, but like that $500 problem might, result in that person being homeless. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you got a car. They need a new transmission. And that's your only one mode of transportation, bro. That's a
It's
whole
not
lot
for those.
different.
That's way
That's a whole
different.
lot different than Jay Leno.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, he
It's a
got
whole
like
lot
a
different than Jay
garage.
Leno breaking down on the highway. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
and
Like,
rental cars break it down because he can't drive them all. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
because
But
they've
like
been
the
just
only
sitting
one you got,
around.
but the only one you got,
Yeah,
nah, that's
yeah,
different.
yeah. Perspective, compromise. Yeah,
Man, you
bro.
want to plug the show, man? I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up, man. I appreciate you coming over, and dropping
Yeah,
off
man.
some information. You don't
Yeah,
you come in, and get it done. So I already did most of my mouth running, you
yeah.
know,
Would have came
earlier.
in earlier, man. I had to take care of some stuff, spend a couple minutes with the wifey real quick. I kind of forgot about this, so I apologize.
No, you ain't got to apologize, man, because
Yeah.
I like being able to speak at the front part of it for at least the
Mm-hmm.
first
Yeah.
45 minutes, and just wrap it up with just saying some other information to go along with the conversation, man. Because
Yeah, you can clip that.
I've been working on a couple of different things, man. Like it's gonna be in the third book, and one of the things I've been nailing down to better have a conversation about where to go next in the problem solving matrix
Mm-hmm.
is that you got to just talk about behavior.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just talk about people, because when you talk about behavior, you either fit it or you don't.
Yeah.
And behavior always comes with traits, and although those traits are indicators, but although indicators are not absolute, they are absolutely indicators.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something to pay attention to when it comes down to like.
It's true. I think people get triggered. Like, you could be having a conversation with someone, right? And they talk about a certain situation, right? Hey, so and so's doing this. So and so's, I'm cheating on my husband or something like that, right? And then you want to go and talk about it. Well, you have to like extract that person, I think, sometimes out of the equation, as to where it's because people get triggered so easy. I mean, honestly, if you come and talk to me like this, I'm giving it to you straight. But I'm just saying in general, when like, 'cause sometimes people will make stuff and sometimes people will say things in the comments, right? Like while we're on air, and we may respond to them. But when we're responding, we are not responding to them. We're responding to the behavior that they may be telling us about. You know what I mean? And I think that that's important because, when you're trying to get your message across to somebody, it's important. I look at, I can look at two different people on a similar platform to have different views, and I can look at one person, and the one person can be very direct, and when they're direct, they could be condescending. They could be what's another word? They could just be mean about it. They're not necessarily thinking about how their message is coming across, and they're not thinking about how their message is going to be received. So inevitably, they may not be able to get their message across to the other person, right?
Yeah.
Whereas someone else may take a different approach and think before they speak, come up with with proper words to say, think about how their message is going to be received, and then speak, because they understand the importance of communication and how communication means crap unless what I'm